Okay, good evening, everyone. So my name is KHAI, and I will be the leader for the discussion today. So our purpose of the discussion today is to discuss a situation given in the question, and we need to propose an idea to stop the situation given. So the situation is in a certain country, 20% of trees are dying. Automobile emissions have been identified as the primary factors. A leading scientist has estimated that unless auto emissions are reduced, 60% of the trees in the country's forest will be killed or damaged within 4 years. Forestry engineers want the government to enact a 70 kilometers per hour speed limit throughout the country. They say that such a limit will cut emissions significantly and save the trees. Many motorists are against the idea. These drivers do not want the government to put any restrictions on their freedom. They believe that there must be other ways to solve the problem. The government has called a meeting to discuss the issue, and here we are now. The purpose of the discussions to try to agree on the best way to stop or reduce the destructions of the forest. And the good role given in the discussion is a leader, a representative of the governments, forestry engineers, motorists, and also citizens. So we are given 10 minutes to brainstorm on the ideas to stop the forest destructions. Yeah.
Okay, so our main purpose is to find the best way to stop or reduce the destruction of the forest, right? So we just discussed around this topic. Is that okay, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
We can try to start the brainstorming section.
Okay.
So yeah, you may start first, Cheating.
Okay. So first, I think we can reduce the emission from industry because based on the statistic, 20% of the emissions come from industry. Thus, I think this idea can be another alternative instead of just focusing on the emissions contributed by the transportation.
Okay, so I think that's a good idea. So for me, I think that we can actually try to use like how to say, we can try to expand the networkings of the public transport. So to encourage the citizen to use more on
We
public
can
transport.
also use the unleaded petrol so that there will be less pollutant released into the atmosphere.
Based on what Kayang said just now, I think we can encourage the use of public transport because most of the emissions from the transport sector are produced by the private vehicles. Therefore, it is a problem that needs to be addressed. So, greater utilization of public transport service over personal vehicles use is one of the best ways on how to reduce the emissions and solve the problems on the dying forest.
Yeah, talking about transport, other than restricting the motorists in speed limit, so I think we can encourage the use of small displacement engine motor, maybe below 150 cc's, or use the electrical motors.
I think that's a good idea. So based on continuity from the vehicles, I think that government should also can do some banning on the use of vehicle for age more than 10 years. So there are some studies that mention that the old car will emit more CO2 gases than new car. So that must be a good way to reduce the forest destruction also.
Also, I think we can encourage the use of hybrid vehicles because hybrid technology allows the cars to reduce their greenhouse gas emission significantly. Hybrid cars use more electricity than gasoline, thus it helps to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions.
Okay, talking about environment, I think we can encourage 3R, which is reuse, reduce, and recycle.
I think we can also
There's some
carpooling.
traditional idea. Carpooling is not it's a good idea also. So I think based from the environments, actually we can put some law enforcements on the deforestations of the illegal logging. Yeah, we can see that actually Malaysia experiencing very quite high numbers of the landsliding due to the deforestation. So and our law enforcement is not that strict towards for illegal logging. So I think we can try to
I think the government should also release a less license for the logging.
Yeah. I have a crazy idea. Maybe we can plant more trees.
That sounds crazy. so besides plant more tree, I have some more realistic ideas. Actually, we can also increase the total area of preservation forest. So as we can see that actually our country has very large area of the forest, but unfortunately very less of them are actually protected. So we can actually increase the area of the preservation forest. That might be some good idea.
In my opinion, I think work from home can be encouraged as a new working mode because due to the COVID-19, most of us practice work from home as part of our new working culture during the MCO periods. So based on the news and research, it was reported that the gas emissions rate during the pandemic is much lower as compared to the pre-pandemic period. So I think the solution can start reducing the destruction of the forest.
Yeah, talking about working from home, I think we can use more smart electronic appliance like energy efficient refrigerator and also air cons that can save more energy and reduce the carbon emission.
I think okay. Then I think we can also support the licensed company and buy only the certified wood product. Because we should buy the products with the FSC marks, which stands for the Forest Stewardship Council, and not the product made from the illegal logging due to the cheaper prices.
You guys can continue to brainstorm more ideas. Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
Okay, I think I have one final ideas, which we can reduce the food waste because production of food is causing a lot of carbon emission and greenhouse gas emission. Okay, so Jane, what is your point? Sorry for interrupting you.
My point is that the government can organize more campaigns and talks because the campaign and talks are very useful in raising the public awareness and instilling the knowledge on how to overcome the dying forest and the effect of dying forest so that the public can be more aware of this issue. Yeah.
Of the forest destruction is the vehicles. Why not we just increase the price of the vehicles so that we can limit the usage of the cars on the road? I think that sounds good.
I think can increase the road tax also and the toll fee.
Yeah, by increasing a road tax and also the price of the car, maybe you can give subsidy to all the green energy car.
Give subsidize to green car. That sounds good. Subsidize.
And maybe the public shouldn't rely too much on the wood product, such as the fuel and the charcoal, so that it can reduce the wood extraction.
Besides that, I have an idea. Really, we can the government can more focus on green energy instead of the like how traditional energy power plant use. We can try to implement like solar energy, wave energy, and even wind energy, wind turbines. That's maybe it provide a cleaner energy to environment, to us, supply us a very cleaner electricity. I think that's a good idea.
I have another idea that the public should reduce the use of the papers because it's obvious that if there is no demand, then there will be a significant reduction in the cutting down of trees to produce the paper. Because according to the paperless project in 2014, worldwide consumption of paper has risen by 400% in the last 40 years, with 35% harvested trees being used for paper manufacture.
So is there any others ideas?
I think government can allow the use of electric scooters
Electric scooters.
to encourage people walking instead of driving in near distance.
Okay. So anyone else want to support more ideas? Else we can just close our brainstorming session. I think that's more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think okay.
Okay, so I will close the brainstorming sessions for now. Okay, and then we will proceed to the selecting the ideas. Okay, well done, guys. I think that we have collect enough ideas, about 20 ideas. So now we have to select the ideas according to the roles. Okay, so now let's start with the government roles. So which ideas can be used for the governments?
Okay, I think for the governments, we need to give the ideas that more to policy planning. So for me, I suggest that we can use infrastructure expansion, this idea for the governments.
In my opinion, I think for the government, they can ban the use of vehicles we age more than 10 years also.
Okay, I think that's more than enough. So now let's proceed with the forestry engineer.
Jane, do you have any ideas?
I think for the forestry engineer, maybe can encourage the use of public transport.
Encourage the use of public transport. Do we have this?
Yeah.
Number 4, is it?
4. Yeah, number
This
4.
one? Okay.
Yeah. And maybe
So,
reduce
okay, we need one more
the
ideas
emission
for
from the
the
industry.
reduce emissions from the industry.
Number 1.
That's a good idea. Okay, now let's proceed to the motorists. So, what can they do?
I think can choose the idea of reducing the food waste.
Reduce food waste.
How about use a smart electronic appliance?
Use a smart electronics appliance. Okay. So last for the citizen. So what can the citizen do?
I think for a citizen, the most important thing is to support the government campaign and talks.
Support the government campaign.
Yeah.
And then reduce the use of paper. 19.
Reduce the use of paper.
Number 19.
Okay, I think that's all for the selecting ideas. So now I think we should proceed with select our roles. So me as a leader, I'm designated to become the government. So who wants to be the forestry engineer's role?
Me.
Okay, and for the motorists?
I love to ride around, so I want to be the motorist.
Okay. Have to know that. So who wants to be the citizen? It should be.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, can proceed to the discussion.